8 months into your program, I was feeling dramatically better. And then, today I always said to you, I want to feel like my old self as much as I possibly can, considering age and everything. And I today finally feel the best that I have felt in years. I know that all the steps that we took got me to this point. All the hard work was worth it. About 3 years ago, I got microscopic colitis, and that was really kind of the start of my gut issues. But I was able to, with steroids, get rid of that. But over the course of the next year, I became progressively more constipated and more bloated, and I did not know what was going on, and I started gaining weight. Granted, I had lost a lot of weight from the colitis, but it was a change. So I started seeing, first I went to an urgent care and they did a scan and they said, yes, it looks like, you might have IBS or whatever. Then I went to a GI doctor and they said, because I was having constipation and diarrhea, they said I have IBS mixed. And they said, here, just take Miralax and Citracel. And I was like, that's the solution. I mean, I said, this, I can't live like this. And so throughout the course of my own research, I was so determined to find a solution. And I don't want to live like this. I was Googling and I learned about SIBO. And I thought, well, gosh, this sounds kind of like what I have. And so I contacted the GI doctor back again. And so they said, I said, I want to be tested for SIBO. And they said, nope, you don't have that. Just, it's the citracel causing you issues. Just stop that. That's the answer. I mean, I just was so surprised that I felt no one would help me. And so I literally saw 6 different doctors over the course of that year. And kind of the moment that they said to me, we won't test you for SIBO, I immediately Googled SIBO testing in my area and you came up. And I thought, well, okay, now what is this? And I read on your website and it was exactly everything I had been going through. And I just felt like I found my people. And so when I contacted you, I think the thing that really, sold me on, your mission, your vision, all of the things, is that you listened to me, and I felt like no one was listening to me and no one seemed to care, and they just wanted to do a quick over the counter thing. And I am very much the person about getting to the root cause. I have seen functional medicine doctors over the years and I very much believe in that, but I just wasn't getting the help that I needed. So when I came to see you, then I appreciated it because you said we don't just test for SIBO, we test for all of these other things.
When we look at, SIBO, or we look at bloating, or we look at constipation, or we look at diarrhea, or any of those symptoms, there's so much overlap. So everybody wants to pay attention to, like, I have bacterial overgrowth or SIBO. Yeah, but yeast overgrowth can cause that.
Mhm.
Parasites can cause that. Digestive enzyme insufficiency can cause that. Lack of stomach acid can cause that. Poor gallbladder health, food sensitivities, all those things can cause very similar symptoms, right? So
Mhm.
that's the importance of test, don't guess, right? Where you're testing to try to figure out, do you have parasites? Do you have yeast? Do you have a combination of low stomach acid and bacteria and a parasite? So that's kind of the reason why we test, because we feel like we're not guessing too much and we can put together a very specific protocol for the individual patient.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is really that knowledge that I gained. So that really started me on my journey with you and really investing in my future health and understanding all the aspects of everything that was going on inside of me. And I can't remember. I think there were 12 vials of blood. I can't remember how many tests I did. You could answer that question, but felt like it was such a comprehensive view, And I remember the first time I met with you, you wrote on a whiteboard, and I had to take a picture of it because it was like the entire, I mean, I completely understood it and at such a different level. And the education I gained was so valuable and took me on this journey with you. With my test results, we started on the elimination diet. So that was about a year and a half ago, maybe 16 months ago. And I did a 6-month elimination diet. And that was a stressful time, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I kind of got used to it. So I would say that I started feeling better. I mean, it was a slow progression. I would say, 8 months into your program, I was feeling dramatically better. And then, today I always said to you, I want to feel like my old self as much as I possibly can, considering age and everything. And I today finally feel the best that I have felt in years. I know that all the steps that we took got me to this point. All the hard work was worth it. And I think also what I've realized is, I didn't know anything about stomach acid or digestive enzymes or any of these things. And so now I still take my digestive enzymes, and I feel that really keeps me, on the right track. And I don't think that I will ever give them up. And, it's just, I'm educating others about that now as well. And I did have in my testing, I did have 3 parasites. And so that journey to eliminate those, and so I know that my gut is in a dramatically healthier place than it was back when I first saw you. And I talk to other people now, and I encourage them to seek help with you, with organizations like you, because again, people just they're not being heard, and people aren't digging deeper. And that's the most important thing. To your point, it's all interconnected, and I had a number of those issues, and we were able to resolve them.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about, how is your life different now versus before you came to see us at Restorative Health Solutions? What are some things that, aren't affecting your life as much? What things can you do now that you don't have to worry about as much? Like, talk a little bit about how life is different.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, back then I literally had to know where bathrooms were. I mean, I had to take a business trip overseas at that time, and it was awful because being in airports, and you're in a car and a long ride, like trying to figure out where can I find a bathroom. It was a terrible, terrible time, and really understanding, like, I would have constipation one day and diarrhea the next. I mean, it was just so debilitating. But then through the course of all of this, like, I became afraid of food. I mean, I was like, I didn't want to eat. I was eating far less because I didn't, there was no joy left in food for me anymore. And it was really a sad thing because I've always enjoyed food. And so I just became afraid of it. And so again, the more I learned, and the more, the elimination diet that I did, and has gotten me to now to this point where I don't live in this fear anymore of like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to find a bath. I don't have issues. I am normal and a regular. And so the freedom that I feel from that, having lived that life of needing to know where bathrooms are at all times. I just took another international trip that was amazing because I didn't have to worry. It was a very active trip. I was snorkeling and all these things. I didn't have to worry that, uh-oh, I'm not going to have anywhere to go to the bathroom. I didn't worry at all. And I also was worried, a little bit of like, I was going to a country again. What if I get a parasite? So then, you advised me to take my hydrochloric acid and my digestive enzymes. And I didn't have any issues on this trip. And so the fear that I had is decreased and really gone away now. And I can look at food differently, and I don't look at it like I'm fearful anymore. And I can live a normal life. And this is what I wanted all along. And what, doctors were just kind of dismissive to say, well, this is just what you have. You just have to live with it. It's IBS and whatever. not acceptable for me. So, I mean, I'm just a happier person today, and I have more joy because I'm not going through that. And to think about how long I suffered with it, and I know people suffer way longer than I did, but you know, I'm happy I took action immediately and was like, this is not acceptable. And I am so happy I found you. I really so appreciate your organization and the care that you give to every single patient. You have always been there for me. I would, oh no, I have this question. I would email you, you know, you'd get right back to me. You know, I would see you on a regular basis throughout that year. And I always felt like, oh, here's my next thing. And you always coached me through the next hurdle. And I really felt so cared for, and that I was on the right track, because, you know, when you try a lot of things, you're just like, oh no, here's, you know, here's more supplements, here's another thing. I felt like I am on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. And so I appreciate that so much. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and it was a pleasure working with you and continuing to work with you. So that's been great. So, what would you say to anybody that's going through similar stuff and have similar symptoms and looking for someone to help them? What would you say to them? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Be your own health advocate, do your research, and, you know, don't accept one doctor's you know, diagnosis or plan for you. If you feel it inside that this isn't quite right, this doesn't feel right to me, this, you know, I feel like there's more, dig deeper. What you offer with all the different kinds of tests, and well, I know you offer many other things other than just gut health, but functional medicine is critical in the health journey, because it's the missing piece. That, you know, regular doctors don't dig deeper. You have to dig deeper, and you have to do the work, and you have to put that in, and you can feel good, and you can live a happier, more fulfilling life without fear and anxiety. But you have to dig deeper with the right doctor. That's part of my thing now, is after going through this, I just want to help other people. So yep, I am your biggest advocate now. So I'm happy to help out in any way I can. So
All right. Thanks so much, Kari.
thank you. You have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.